When I opened the message thread, they were talking about how they couldn't wait to meet up and F when I left for a 7-day work trip on Monday. Welcome back to They Did What? Your source for the internet's craziest, most entertaining stories, where I go over them, analyze them, and most certainly make fun of them. Today, I'm going to go over a story titled, I Caught My Wife Cheating and It Feels Like the Last Straw. And guys, this story is all about a guy who's been married for a few years, and let me tell you, his wife, and no exaggeration, is a complete train wreck. She is the last type that any guy should ever marry, let alone stay married to. And you're also going to see, guys, this guy is in the military. And this all starts one evening that they're out on a Saturday night, and he wants to go home because he's got to be up early for work. He's being responsible, can't be drunk or hungover, and she wants to stay out. So he's like, all right, go out, have fun with your friends. Well, she comes stumbling in at 4 o'clock in the morning, trashed, and let's just say that he finds some revealing evidence on her phone about her indiscretions. And it leads to this whole thing about her and all that type of stuff, and as you can imagine, the usual crying and begging and pleading, all that other bullshit. But perfect example, guys, of how, for you guys in the military, best that you wait to get married until you're out. Because there is definitely a stereotype about guys that get married and what happens. Because you're going to see also this guy's always away for a couple weeks, a month, and she's by herself. And it's just, the fact that this happens is despicable. But I've done so many videos on my other channel, Strong Successful Male, about the guys that are in the service and their wives cheat on them left and right the second they leave. It's terrible. But anyhow, guys, I'm going to go through this. You'll definitely find this entertaining, and you'll see in the end, this guy definitely has the last laugh. So it starts, he says, my wife came stumbling through the door at 4 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. We live in an apartment complex above a bunch of shops and bars. We had dinner that night. I decided I didn't feel like going out because I couldn't drink due to a work commitment, but I told her I didn't mind her going downstairs to have a drink or two. A drink or two? I think it was more than a drink or two. Around 12 a.m., I texted her to see what was up. She told me she was getting some good advice from one of her girlfriends that tends the bar. Is that what they call it these days, when you're getting sausage? Good advice? I fell asleep on the couch and woke up at 3 a.m., finding that she still wasn't home and the bar closed at 2 a.m. Worried, I sent her a text asking where she was. She replied, I'm dealing with someone. Again, is that what it's called? I reminded her that the bar closed at 2 a.m. She replied she was on her way home. I heard her struggling with the keys and opened the door for her. She was standing there swaying, and I knew she was completely tanked. What a classy girl. What a great wife. I helped her through the door and into the kitchen, where she promptly fell down, laughing the whole time. I realized she didn't have her purse and asked where it was. She said she didn't know. I picked her up off the floor and helped her to the bedroom. She left her phone on the counter, so I decided to see if maybe someone had texted her about leaving her purse behind. The second message down was from a guy that I didn't know. When I opened the message thread, they were talking about how they couldn't wait to meet up and F when I left for a 7-day work trip on Monday. The last text said 2 more days, like they were on a countdown for me to leave. Can you imagine finding that? That is terrible. What a classy girl. He, as you're going to see, is in the military, has to go away quite often, and this is what she does when he goes away. And as you're going to see, also, the waterworks has put on and making him out to be the bad guy because he goes away and leaves a lot, because that's what guys in the military have to do. And these gals marry into that knowing that. My wife stumbles back into the kitchen to get her phone. That's when she realized she effed up and forgot to delete the messages before she came home. She then spent the next couple of hours asking me if I want a divorce. Crying, can she take the dog? More crying. Threatening to off herself, asking me if she should book the next flight home. Oh, hell no, is she getting the dog? Oh, no. She can get a lot of things if they divorce, but she ain't getting the dog. I take animal care very seriously. Not to get too specific, but I'm in the military and my job takes me offshore for about 2 weeks a month. Not the easiest lifestyle, but certainly not the worst in my career field. So I do emphasize with her loneliness, the fact that she's completely removed from family and friends at home and stuck in the armpit of New Jersey. And he puts in parentheses, no offense, I actually don't mind it here. She knew what she was getting into when she got married. There's plenty of people out there that get married to men in the military and understand that the husbands have to go away sometimes for a long period of time. Sometimes, like he said, a couple weeks to a month. It's always different. And there's no excuse for this shit. None. I had previously had some suspicions in the fall of last year when she had some bruises around her boobs after I got back from a patrol. She explained them away by saying that she got a little rough while pleasuring herself. That's definitely a different way of pleasuring oneself. What is she doing? Hitting herself when she was so-called pleasuring herself? Sure. My gut told me it was BS, but when I confronted her, she denied it heavily. Well, of course she did. That's what liars and cheaters do. My suspicions grew more when a mutual friend of ours suddenly became very unfriendly with her, but cordial to me, blocking her from all social media, her phone number, and refusing to acknowledge her presence when we happened to be at the same bar or restaurant. She later confirmed that she had given her those bruises, but they had not been intimate. She had denied intimacy with the guy she was basically sexting, but my gut is telling me that's also a lie as well. I've stuck by this woman through a lot of BS. I'm a very laid-back person, and my stress has been peaking since we got married. And what does that say? She's gotten her second DUI, the first since we've been together, and basically ruined whatever plans we had for a family due to the financial constraints and the fact that she can't drive. So she's an alcoholic, 2 DUIs, financial issues, which means she probably is a compulsive spender. What else did he just say here? Other things, I forget what it was there. Can't drive. I mean, get off your ass and get a freaking license, lady. I mean, but then again, you can't say that she wasn't like this in some degree before they got married. And how long did this guy know before he got married? It's just, it boggles my mind when guys will be together with a woman, very brief period of time, they get married, the whole fairy tale crap. And then they're shocked to discover a different person. They get, first is Dr. Jekyll, then they get Miss Bitch. She's been going down to the bar almost every night. Sometimes I've been with her, but most of the time I can't, since I have to be a responsible adult, and effing something up when I'm hungover can result in a UCMJ punishment. Does she have a job? There's a question. Seriously. And she's going to the bar every night, and this guy's allowing it? I'm up to be transferred, and I need to make a decision before February 1st. Behind door number 1 is forgiveness. I take her back, try to move on, continue to support her, and continue on the family path of buying a house and having children in Florida. This guy be out of his damn mind to continue on being with her. I mean, yeah, he may take a hit financially, but it's better in the long term. And have a family with her, kids, then he's stuck with her forever. She's garbage. And worthless, I might add. Can't drive, DUIs. I mean, what's next? She's going to get arrested, maybe go to jail? Seriously. Behind door number 2 lies a clean break. I won't owe her anything in alimony. We don't own property together, and I would move to downtown Boston and live the bachelor lifestyle. Take it. Door number 2. No alimony. Whoosh, get rid of her. Come to Boston. That's where I live. Or I live near Boston. The job that I really want is there. Be gone for a couple months at a time out to sea, something that is impossible if I want to stay married. My main concern is I'll be 32 years old. I've heard that dating can suck in your 30s, but I know there's plenty of potential to have a very good time. A life goal is to settle down, get married, have children, something I thought I was getting when I married my wife. She is the last person you can do any of that with. And by the way, if this guy's now 32, 30s is when guys start their prime. 50 is usually when guys peak, as what I've read. But a guy in his 30s that has his shit together, has resources, takes care of himself, good shape, and not to mention this guy's military, so that's a big plus. Sky's the limit. He just has to have better judgment when it comes to women. On the other hand, the 30s is when things start to go downhill for the ladies, because their prime is their late teens and 20s. So great, Reddit advisors, which door should I choose? And he has an update as to what his decision is, and it's a good one. It says, thank you all for your input and the kind words that some of you had. I made the decision to follow down the path of door number 2. Yes, brother. I told her, and to be honest, the relief that I had felt previously was replaced by sadness. I know a lot of you may not understand this, but when you love someone, sometimes you put the blinders on when it comes to their faults. Absolutely. You're not the first, and you won't be the last. It's not easy to just switch off like that. I get that. But when it's just never-ending bullshit. She has put me through plenty of grief, but there are qualities about her I truly did love, and we have very good times between the struggles. Yeah, she's probably one of those. She's probably also good looking and great in the sack when she's in the sack with you. She is devastated because she truly thought that I would forgive her and stay to try and work it out. There is no working it out. Once a cheater, always a cheater. She's garbage, okay? And I guarantee you she's done way more cheating than you know about. You're her meal ticket. She doesn't have to work, I guess. Doesn't drive. You take care of everything for her. And she's trying to have her cake and eat it too. Have affairs while you're gone. Meanwhile, you're paying for everything. Hell no. As much as I can't stand who she is right now and what she's put me through, it still hurts me to see her in pain. I take absolutely no joy in it. It's hard to comprehend that because I should by all rights hate her completely. It's up to her to find herself, to pick herself up and carry on. No, what she's going to do is just find another sucker. That's what's going to happen. Because if I'm going to assume she's younger than he is, or at least 32, and she's good looking, she'll find another sucker. But the older she gets, it won't be as easy. But as long as she's above average looking for her age, there'll always be some sucker, some poor dumb bastard that's going to fall for her shit and she can mooch off of. But I just don't think she can, and it's hard to have that feeling that you're abandoning someone that basically only had you keeping them afloat. Dude, she abandoned you. She abandoned your marriage, okay? She ruined it, not you. Don't think like you're abandoning her and being the bad guy in the situation. And don't let anybody else make you think that way either, okay? And anybody else that may find themselves in a situation like this, I hope nobody watching this finds themselves in a situation like this. But no, this guy is not the bad guy. Keeping her afloat. Tell her to get a goddamn job. I can and will move on to better things because I know that I have that inside of me. Of course you do. You're in the military. You're a badass. Of course you can. To pull myself up by bootstraps is something that I've done all throughout my life. As much as I'm anticipating the next chapter of my life, I will still grieve a bit for the potential that we had when we first got married. Again, thank you for all your replies. Bro, you're going to be okay. One day at a time, if you got to do it. Shit, even 1 hour at a time, but you will get better. But my recommendation to this guy, not that he's ever going to see this, but to any guy in this situation, is that, yes, like he said, he can pull himself up by the bootstraps, and you will get better. But take your time the next time you meet a different woman. Make sure you don't make the same mistake again, end up with the same type of gal who is a lot of fun but has a lot of terrible qualities. And you want a gal that can take care of herself, that has her own job, her own income, her own money, is good with money, etc., because it shouldn't be all on you. I mean, that's ridiculous. And I get he's in the military, and obviously military, they move around a lot, and it's hard for spouses to get a job because the guy's moving around all the time, but something can be done. And she didn't deserve this guy at all. So she's getting what she deserves. Sayonara. She'll figure it out. But sadly, her figuring out will probably be, again, like I said earlier, some poor sucker that doesn't know any better. But I wish this guy all the best. So guys, you're in the military or thinking about going to the military and you're not married yet, I recommend you don't do it until you are out, because it's such a stereotype. And how do I know this? Because I've done videos over the last 2 years, at least 5 or 6 of them, with this happen to different guys, different branches of the military, Marine Corps, Army, Navy, Air Force, you name it. And they ship off, they're deployed, whatever. This type of thing happens. And then I've had comments from tens of thousands of comments on these different videos of guys saying either it happened to them in the military or happened to somebody they knew, their brother, their cousin, their friend, whatever. They know. So, and I think there's even a saying, if the military wanted you to have a wife, they'd issue one to you. Kid you not. So, wait until you get out. All right, guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. If you come across a really good story like me to share on this channel, by all means, email it to me, strongsuccessfulmale@gmail.com. And also, if you haven't checked out my other channel, my main channel, Strong Successful Male, it's a men's advice channel. Lots of great personal stories. It's really booming, and I think a lot of you will enjoy it. But most people that watch this channel already follow me over there. And I thank you for coming over here. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.